You know what's weird about money? Most people genuinely believe they understand it. They work hard, they budget, they try to be responsible, and yet they still feel stuck. They earn more than they used to, but somehow nothing changes. Their bank balance resets to zero every month like it's on a timer. And that's the frustrating part. Because when things aren't working, people assume the problem is effort. I must not be disciplined enough. I need to work harder. I just need to be more motivated. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Money doesn't fail because you're lazy. It fails because the rules most people follow are incomplete. Most financial advice tells you what to do. Almost none of it explains why it works or why it quietly breaks down in real life. So this video isn't about hustling harder. It's not about extreme budgeting or cutting out everything fun. It's about seeing the blind spots that keep people stuck even when they're doing everything right. 9 money truths most people misunderstand, not because they're stupid, but because nobody ever slowed down and explained how money actually behaves. Now, before we dive in, let me be clear about something. I'm not here to make you feel bad about where you are right now. Maybe you're crushing some of these already. Or maybe you're looking at your bank account thinking you should just give up and become a professional dog walker. Either way, these aren't judgment calls. They're roadmaps to help you navigate what can honestly be a pretty overwhelming topic. All right, let's start with the one everyone talks about. Budgeting. Most people think budgeting is about discipline. Like if you just had enough willpower, you'd stop overspending. But if that were true, disciplined people wouldn't quit their budgets after 3 weeks. And yet they do, all the time. Budgeting fails because it asks you to fight your impulses in the moment, when you're tired, when you're stressed, when you've had a long day and ordering food feels way easier than cooking. A budget isn't supposed to control you. It's supposed to remove decisions. A good budget is a choice you make ahead of time when your brain is clear. By the time you open that app or walk into that store, the decision is already made. Where most people mess up is treating budgeting like a crash diet. They go extreme, cut everything fun, feel deprived, then quit and go right back to where they started. The people who succeed don't budget perfectly, they budget consistently. And there are different ways to do it. Some people use the 50-30-20 rule. Half your income goes to needs, rent, insurance, groceries, the boring stuff. 30% goes to wants, eating out, travel, things that make life actually worth living. And 20% goes straight to savings and debt. It's simple. It's flexible. You don't have to track every single dollar like some kind of spreadsheet wizard. Then there's zero-based budgeting. Every dollar has a job. Nothing just sits there doing nothing. This works if you like knowing exactly where every penny is going. Or there's pay yourself first. You decide how much you're saving each month, then you spend whatever's left. This works if you trust yourself not to blow through everything. The method matters less than the habit, because budgeting isn't a rule book, it's a dashboard. If you never check it, it won't help you. Now, let's talk about debt. Debt feels normal now, doesn't it? So normal that people stop questioning it. The average person is carrying over $90,000 in debt. Credit cards, student loans, car payments, buy now, pay later. It's everywhere. But debt isn't just money you owe. It's future income already spent. Every payment you make is money your future self doesn't get to use. There are 2 main types most people carry. Revolving debt, like credit cards, you can keep spending and paying it off forever. There's no finish line. This is the dangerous one. Then there's non-revolving debt. Student loans, mortgages, car payments. You borrow once, you pay it down over time. At least there's an end date. There's also secured debt, where if you stop paying, they actually take something from you. Your house, your car. And unsecured debt, where they can't take anything physical, but they can destroy your credit and sue you. But here's the real issue. Most people don't actually know their numbers. They don't know the interest rate. They don't know the payoff date. They don't know how much it's really costing them. They just make minimum payments and hope. Hope doesn't reduce debt. Clarity does. Before you try to eliminate debt, you have to see it clearly. Write down every single debt, the balance, the interest rate, the monthly payment, the exact date it'll be gone. Once you can actually see it, you can start attacking it strategically. Debt isn't normal, it's just common. Which brings us to net worth. Most people track income. Almost nobody tracks net worth. And that's a problem, because income shows effort. Net worth shows results. Net worth is simple. What you own minus what you owe. Add up your savings, your investments, your property if you have any, then subtract every debt. What's left is your net worth. For a lot of people, especially younger ones, that number is negative. Student loans will do that. That's not failure. That's reality. What matters isn't where it is right now. It's whether it's moving in the right direction. People get raises and think they're doing better financially, but if the expenses rise at the same pace, nothing changes. They're just running faster on the same treadmill. Wealth isn't built by earning more alone. It's built by widening the gap between income and spending, then investing the difference. That's what actually moves the number. Net worth is the scoreboard. Everything else is noise. Next, credit. Your credit score feels mysterious, doesn't it? Like some judgment of your character. It's not. It's mechanical. A number between 300 and 850 that measures one thing: how predictable you are with debt. When you apply for loans, credit cards, apartments, even some jobs, someone's checking this number. That number quietly affects everything. Loan approvals, interest rates, apartments, sometimes even jobs. A bad score doesn't scream at you. It whispers by costing you more money over time. Here's what the ranges actually mean. 300 to 579, very poor. You're going to struggle getting approved for anything. 580 to 669, fair. You'll get approved, but you'll pay way more in interest. 670 to 739, good. You're in decent shape. 740 to 799, very good. Lenders actually trust you. 800 to 850, exceptional. You get the best rates available. One late payment can sit on your report for 7 years. 7 years! The fix isn't complicated, though. Pay on time, keep balances low, don't open too many accounts at once. Credit doesn't punish mistakes, it punishes inattention. Now, saving. Here's a stat that should make everyone uncomfortable. Only 39% of people could cover a $1,000 emergency without borrowing. Think about that. $1,000, and more than half of people would have to go into debt to handle it. That's not a money problem. That's a buffer problem. Without a buffer, every inconvenience becomes a crisis. Car trouble, debt. Medical bill, debt. Job loss, debt. That's the trap. The first goal isn't investing or buying a house. It's an emergency fund. 3 to 6 months of expenses sitting in an account untouched. Not for vacations, not for wants, for actual emergencies. Because life doesn't wait for you to be ready. Your car breaks down. You lose your job. Something major in your house stops working. No buffer means every problem becomes more debt. And once you're in debt, saving becomes even harder. Most people never escape this cycle. The second type of saving is for goals. Vacations, cars, down payments on houses, whatever you want that costs more than one paycheck. Most people dream about these things but never actually save for them. Then they either give up or put it on a credit card. There's no magic formula here. Take what you need, divide it by your timeline, and that's your monthly. If it's too high, adjust the goal or give yourself more time. But don't skip this step. Saving doesn't make you rich, it makes you stable. And stability is what allows growth. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Saving alone won't get you where you need to be. Let's say you want $2 million to retire. If you saved $1,000 every single month for 30 years, you'd have $360,000. That's not even close. That's why investing matters. Saving protects money. Investing grows it. Investing is not gambling. It's not trying to get rich quick. It's just letting time do the heavy lifting. When you invest, your money compounds. It earns returns. Then those returns earn returns. Over decades, small contributions turn into serious money. The average family thinks they'll need about $1.9 million to retire comfortably. The average family has about $255,000 saved. That gap doesn't close by working harder or saving a little more each month. It closes by investing early and staying consistent. Most people are scared of investing because they don't understand it, or they think it's only for people who already have money. But investing is literally just for anyone who wants their money to grow faster than inflation. Here's what you actually need to know. Asset allocation, how you split your money across different types of investments. Time horizon, how long until you'll actually need this money. Diversification, spreading your money across a bunch of different investments so one bad pick doesn't ruin you. And risk tolerance, how okay you are with your account balance going up and down. That's it. The earlier you start, the less you actually have to put in. Time does most of the work. Waiting feels safer. It's way more expensive. Now, let's talk about buying a house. Everyone says buying a home builds wealth. Sometimes it does, sometimes
it absolutely drains you. The difference isn't whether the house goes up in value, it's whether you can actually afford it. The average home in the U.S. costs over $275,000. In some cities, it's double or triple that. Most people stretch as far as they possibly can to afford it. They get approved for way more than they should actually take on, and they do it because everyone tells them a house is an investment. But a home is only an investment if it goes up in value and if you can afford to keep it without destroying your finances. If you're spending 40% of your income on housing, you're not building wealth, you're barely surviving. The rule is simple. Your housing costs shouldn't go over 30% of your income. And that's not just your mortgage. That includes insurance, property taxes, and maintenance. Most people completely forget about the last two. Then something breaks. The roof starts leaking, the HVAC system dies. Experts say you should save about 1% of your home's value every year just for repairs and maintenance. Most people don't. So when something major breaks, they have to go into debt to fix it. A home builds wealth only if it gives you flexibility. If it takes away your flexibility, it costs you way more than just money. Now, taxes. Taxes are probably one of the biggest expenses people never actually plan for because they never see the money. If you're earning money, you're paying taxes. For most people, taxes just come out of the paycheck automatically. They never actually see it hit their account. And because they don't see it, they don't think about it. But you should, because what you don't see, you don't manage. You don't need to become a tax expert. You just need awareness. How much are you actually paying? What are you legally allowed to deduct? Are you required to file a return? Most people overpay because they have no idea what they can write off, or they underpay and get slammed with penalties later. Just paying attention here can save you thousands. Finally, insurance. Insurance doesn't build wealth. It prevents destruction. One major uncovered event can erase years of progress. Health insurance, car insurance, homeowners or renters insurance, life insurance, disability insurance. Insurance is what turns a disaster into just an inconvenience. Ignoring it turns disasters into complete financial resets. Most people figure this out way too late. So here's the thing. If money actually worked the way most people think it does, effort alone would be enough. But it's not. These 9 things aren't complicated. They're just ignored. The people who get ahead aren't luckier than you. They're not smarter. They just stopped ignoring how money actually works. Once you see the system clearly, you can't unsee it. And that's when real progress starts. So pick one area from this video. Just one. Maybe it's finally dealing with that credit card debt, or maybe it's opening a high-yield savings account you've been putting off for months. Small, consistent decisions compound, just like money does. And if this helped you see things differently, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Let's make sure you're not still stuck here a year from now.